Hey guys, Zero here, and I got another D&D unboxing and review for you today. I ordered this from Russia, in the same place I ordered my Russian miniatures, the centaurs, you know, and the werewolves, and the evil warlords or evil lords. This actually took a couple months to get here, so it took a while, and then I found out that they carry these at my local hobby store, Chicagoland Hobbies. I'm gonna head over there and see what they have, and I'll probably pick one up just a price comparison, or also just see what's up. But I picked up this cardboard puzzle or 3D model Medieval Tavern. Okay, now it's all in Russian. So I don't know, I have no idea what any of this says. I do know that this is the symbol here, any modeler worth his salt, is, no glue, no cutting, right? And then we've got, down here, well, over here, right there, we've got ages 5 to 99, so 99-year-olds can build this. There's a lot of symbols, a lot of words, a lot of stuff written, but I don't understand any of it. The back is the same. There's a lot of cool stuff written there. I just don't know what it is. But I bought this, this actually folds open. But I bought this because I wanted to see, and I bought this to see how it stands up to our actual tabletop scenery that we've built for our Warhammer Fantasy Age of Sigmar table. I wanted to start using scenery in D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, and I was going to use our table. I'm going to give it a try and see how it works out with using actual scenery and maps as well, and tiles as well. And I bought this because it was very cheap. This was $9 plus $7 shipped, so $16 shipped, which is why I want to go to my hobby store and see if I can get it for cheaper or whatever the price comparisons are. But this actually opens up. It has a little section there that lets you open it up and put the miniatures inside. And I got the tavern because it's pretty generic and it's easy, and I could have gotten like a castle or ruins or something else, but I wanted to go with the tavern because it was one of the cheaper kits, and I wanted to see how it would stand up to handling and abuse. And I've used like the cardstock old Dungeons and Dragons cardstock cutout buildings where you cut them out and you tape them together, and they're fun, but it's basically just a shell. You pop it down and it is what it is. And they were all really small, like they're almost impossibly small for Dungeons and Dragons. Like when you look at the scale of the miniature compared to the buildings, they're great for just background stuff and running around and blocking line of sight, but they weren't very good for scale. One thing they were nice for is for pictures. If you're taking pictures of your scenery that you actually built and you have those things in the background, because they're, if the backgrounds are blurry depending on your camera, it actually made your scenery look really nice. So they were great for photos. And I believe this is the same thing. So we're going to get this over to the table. We're going to pop it open, take a look at the pieces. I might even do a video of me building this, because it says that it should be pretty easy to build. So, if a 5-year-old can build it, I should be able to build it, right? Famous last words. So we'll take it over to the table, take a look at it, and see if it's worth the $16, and if what my goal originally was to see if it was worth me suggesting this to other GMs or game masters or dungeon masters, because I know a lot of dungeon masters that are on the fence about using scenery because it costs so much to for them to make, or it's very time consuming because they don't either have a lot of the talent to do it or the drive to do it, or it's just something that they're not fanciful about. I know some that want to use it, but they just don't want to do the work, or can't, and that's okay. So I'm thinking, this is something that's a great in between. Like you can build this; it'll be sturdy enough for you to pack away or handle, and other people to play around with, but not abuse, obviously. As an alternative to making your own or buying scenery, like buying 3D printed scenery, or buying, you know, a plastic made scenery like Games Workshop, or, you know, other companies. So hopefully, you know, this will pan out, and it'll work out. I mean, it comes with little figures, you know, comes with little guys. I don't plan on using those. I mean, you know, they look, if you look at the back of them, they look like they're to scale. With Warhammer and D&D, maybe a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll test that out too. But let's get over to the table and open this thing up and see what it has to offer. And hopefully, it would be a great alternative for those who are on a budget and looking for something quick and easy to add to their game and give their game more dimension. All right, sit tight, guys. Alright guys, let's take a quick look at this Medieval Tavern. We'll pop it open too and take a look at the cardboard and the pieces and stuff and see what we got. Looks like these are the stands for the people, the little characters. I got my X-Acto just in case. I don't think we need it. Well, we might. Let's see. Maybe not. Alright. Yeah, these are little foam standees. You can punch them out and use them to stand up the little figures. Here's one of the walls. Pretty thick. Looks pretty good. See? It's tough to punch out. I like punching out these little bits. And we've got some pictures of some of the other stuff they have here. The wall with a little keep on top. Another, I think it's like a mansion, a governor's mansion or something. Oh, cool. Here's the whole set. That's cool. Or a big part of the set. Castles, bridges, bridge houses, forges. Oh, this is a cool cathedral. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I'll get these closer in a second. And then there we have the instructions. Oop. That looks like a punched out window. And part of the banister for the staircase, I think. Let's see. Or maybe not, maybe just a roof part, but I mean, it looks pretty basic. And we'll take a look at the parts here. One of these parts here is the wall. One of the main walls. Let me get in a little closer for you guys. And then there's a doorway. Looks like the doorway can be punched out as well. And then we have the back end, or the inside, and that has the folding panel, you see. I don't know how long that's going to last, but, you know, hopefully it'll last enough for it to be used in the game. Looks like the door has the same, yeah, the door has the same folding, yep, that's cool. More punch out tabs here. And there's little windows here you can punch out, but I'm going to hold off on that. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff. Whoops. We lost one of the people again. So this came pre-punched, like these things were just punched out already in the bag. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like shipping or something like that. But those are the characters that come with it. Little farm hands, and well, there's an archer and a donkey with baggage. Yeah. And I have a Dungeons and Dragons figure. So if you kind of look, they're pretty much on scale. They're on par. Maybe a little small, maybe. A half orc here. You know, not too bad. Close enough to use in, looks like you can use it in Dungeons and Dragons, which is cool. We'll set that to the side because it's not really important right now. I keep dropping pieces. It came with a toothpick. What the fuck? Maybe it's to punch the stuff out? I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. And then this little dude fell out. Pretty cool. See if I can punch him back in. Yeah. Booyah. Oh, let's see what else we got punched out here. One of the larger walls. Tabelfa. I guess I wonder if that means the company or tavern. This is, yeah, the roof. That's cool. And it folds, so I don't know, you know. Maybe it sits like this. Maybe, you know, we'll see. We'll take a look when we get ready to put it. I'll put it together, but I'm not going to put it together on camera just because I don't want to waste you guys time too much. And here's another wall section that folds open. And you've got the interior there. It looks like the kitchen. And there's something, you know, like a hearth there. And there's bedrooms up there with curtains. That's interesting. Oh, wow. There's actually texture printed on this face. There's vines and stuff. That's actually textured. That's pretty cool. The whole thing is textured. I just realized that. That is the brickwork. That is really cool. Really, really cool. Is it worth $16 though? There's one. There's another panel with door and windows. See, the door opens up. And then there's the interior. I really like the different colors too. Like the interior doesn't have any texture, but the exterior does. It has a little texture for the what do you call those, shutters? The door has texture too. That's actually really cool. I gotta give props. So far, we're gonna put it together, and then we're gonna come back, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on this, and then here we have the rest of the stuff that's still punched in. It's got part of the floor, because I don't think it does like a full floor. I think it's like a wedge, like a kitty corner, so you can put minis there, but it's not necessarily for like full-on access. It's just to kind of represent where you're supposed to be and whatnot like that. So we're going to get this open, we're going to take it apart, we're going to put it together, and then I'll come back and let you guys see the finished product. Alright, sit tight guys. Alright guys, finished building the house, and that took probably a total of 10 minutes. My son helped me punch out the little villagers. Here's all the garbage that you get, all the little punch out garbage. So I'm going to toss this out, and I'm going to show you guys the house really quick. Alright, sit tight. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at the instructions. I wanted to point something out to you guys. Even though it's technically in Russian, I believe it's Russian, The instructions are pretty straightforward. It's all numbered. All the parts are numbered. And they actually give you this really cool quick system. So when you're putting the parts together, it doesn't tell you this part to that part. It just tells you in order which parts to do first, then second, then third. They have a key here. Let me see if you can see that. Right there. So red is first, green is second, blue is third. I don't know if it's like that for every kit, but it actually made it really easy. And it doesn't go side to side like we do it here in America. It goes down, then back up, then down again. So you can see it's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then 5 down here. So they were pretty straightforward instructions. And I've built tons of kits, so it's not anything foreign to me. And here is the inn. Here are the little people that came with it. Little cutouts. They're cardboard and foam. The stands are foam. So this reminds me of something you would have in like maybe some cheap board game. Like back in the day, that's what they used to make figures out of back in the day. This little cardboard stand is a nice thing I wanted to point out about these little figures, though, or something I thought was kind of cool. I'll zoom in really quick so you guys can see this. And this is for every single figure as well. So there's a front picture. And then there's a back picture. So that's kind of cool. I didn't think, you know what I mean? Like I probably won't use these. Maybe I will. They're good town folk. But that's cool that they have different prints on different sides of the model. Or the little standy guy. See? A little different. I thought that was kind of cool. Got a cool archer here. And he's got his back. That's pretty cool. They could have easily just printed the same thing on both sides and I would have accepted it, you know what I mean? Because this is such a cheap model. But they didn't. I thought that was kind of cool. And if I didn't have any figures, this would definitely make up for some townsfolk. Pretty cool. She's carrying some basket. Go get that bread. Cook it up. There's a fighter. And I want to show you this really quick. So this is their fighter. And this is Nalzor's fighter. So they are literally the same height. So that's kind of cool. So they fit. Here's him next to a half-orc. Barbarian. So again, it seems pretty scaled to me. So here's a little child. He's really tiny. Like halfling size almost. But it is a child. So it doesn't seem to be fantasy more so than medieval. Or early Renaissance, whatever. Dark Age. There's the figures. Alright. Let's take a look at the house. I'll zoom out a little bit for y'all. So it's got a weird angled shape. Like they cut the face of the building off like at an angle. So it's probably like a corner building. It has a little tavern sign that sticks out. I thought that was really cool. Looks like a little kettle. So I'm going to call that the Rusty Kettle. Now, there's the door. The door opens. And the door on the other side opens. Just for, you know. I don't know if it's playability more so than just for show. But for a DM, it's actually really cool. Now everything has printed, the cards printed on both sides of everything. There's nothing here that's like, you know, you have to hide that wall because you can't, you know, there's nothing on it. Everything has a print on it. Even the bottom. The bottom has a print. It's actually dirt. You can see the cellar door there, and then there's dirt. Or like the cellar opening, you know. So this is obviously the cellar, which is really cool. And I'll open it up in a second. Then you've got the dormer. This actually is floppy around. That's the only thing I kind of like. It's floppy, so this piece will come out. You know, if you take the roof off, it'll come out. But leaving the roof on, it should be fine. And again, like I said, everything on the side, on the outside has texture. It's really, really cool. You punch out a lot of like little windows and things like that. Like I showed you guys the debris. I can only assume that that's what the toothpick was for. Was to get out these little, where the little slots are, where, you know, you connect the pieces. That's what this was for. But I did it with my nail. It's pretty easy, and it's not. There's nothing. It's not hard, and it doesn't. It didn't. None of it tore. Because I noticed before, like with cardboard cutout stuff like this, usually the cardboard, the surface will tear with whatever you're tearing out. You know what I'm saying? So this one didn't do that. I thought that was pretty good. So it's pretty cool. And then you can actually open the roof to take a quick peek inside. And then even the roof has printing on the inside. Then what you can do, what it's for really, is to pop this open and pop open the roof, and then you have a complete or semi-complete interior with printed detail. Now miniatures can't go up the stairs obviously because it's just a really thin, but it's designed, if you look at the scale, it's designed to scale, you know. You even get the epic half work in there on each floor, and he's not touching the ceiling. Now, mind you, this is pretty crowded, so you don't want to really do too many combats in here, but it's definitely, I think it's usable for Dungeons and Dragons. Is it usable for miniature wargaming? Maybe, if you're playing really small skirmish games that require you to go in and out of the buildings. But most of the skirmish games we play don't, unless they're ruins and stuff like that. I mean, you know, like Frostgrave or, you know, Age of Sigmar skirmish. What was that? Mordenheim. But those were ruins. So again, you know, you could use it for Dungeons and Dragons. You know, I would definitely be using this for Dungeons and Dragons. Just as an alternative to making scenery. I do have a ton of it. I'm actually finishing up some now. You guys know if you're watching my videos. But this is actually a really cool alternative, especially if someone is looking to run a game with some scenery, you know, nothing too fancy, but they don't have the crafting skills or the time and material or financial material to build their own scenery. Now, normally, you know, I always suggest build your scenery. I always tell people, build your stuff, man, because it's just more gratifying. It's in the end result is better, and it lasts longer and whatever. But in this case, for this stuff, I think this is a really good alternative for GMs, like I said, dungeon masters who just don't have the time to craft or the talent to craft, and they don't want to pay someone to craft for them. This is an alternative. And they have a ton of different buildings. I mean, you know, not a lot of dungeon stuff, you know, but I don't think that was the goal for this type of stuff. I think it was just to create like a small village style diorama. I'm going to go a little closer here so you guys can see some of the sets that came with this. Because again, I think these are really cool sets. You've got a huge castle. You know, and it does go up in price, and I believe the castle's in the 70s or 80s or something like that. It's pretty expensive. Nothing is over $100. And most of these sets are within $20 range. You know, the one I got, like I said, was $9 plus $7 shipping. If I can find them somewhere here, I think my local hobby store may have them. And if I can find them here and get them cheaper, then I'll do that. You know, I really like this bridge house. I want to get one of those. I definitely, even for our gaming table, I think bridge houses are always really cool. But you've got a ton of cool stuff. You got like trebuchets, siege weapons, you know. These are like a castle wall with like a stable and barracks and stuff. I don't know, there's names for everything, but it's all, again, I don't know the language, so I have no idea what it says. And I even think they started adding like a winter version of stuff to their collection. So they have some buildings, like this one here. This is one of the winter sets. You know, so it's got like the wintry colors and themes and stuff like that. It's a little cheesy, little Santa's Village type stuff, but I think, again, it's really cool if you wanted to add this stuff to your game. Like, I like this castle here. You know, they have a ruined one too that I like a lot. And I was thinking about, actually one I was thinking about getting, but I wanted to get this one first because it's cheaper and I wanted to make sure it was worthwhile. It's another gate, like wall, like partition walls and stuff. You got towers. Look at this cathedral. I don't know if you can go in there or not. I haven't seen this one online, but that's pretty cool. There's the tavern. There's a couple taverns actually, but I think, like I said, definitely worth it if you know you're just getting started as a GM and you want to throw some stuff on there. If you want to have a little town encounters, that's what these are good for. You know, when people are raiding a town, or you know, dragons attacking a village. Things like this are perfect for that. You know, you throw them out there, and they're not going to cost you a lot of money, and you know, it's pretty good cardboard. I mean, it's pretty good. Standing, it's pretty durable. I mean, the roof is a little floppy, but I could fix that with some Velcro or some duct tape or some tape, you know, or something to just keep it attached. But it's not like the people are going to be moving this around, so it's not bad. This is pretty good. And the 3D aspect of it is really cool. So here you go, guys. That is my Russian or Medieval Tavern 3D model of cardstock. Mabefa. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what this says. If you know Russian or what language this is, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know. Alright, there you go, guys. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely worth the money, especially if you're a new GM coming up and you don't want to spend a lot of money and time on building your own stuff or buying really big plastic kits from Games Workshop or, you know, from some of the other companies out there. But there you go. I mean, if you got a 3D printer, you can do this stuff yourself too. But again, you know, that 3D printing is a whole different level of ballpark there. Alright, guys. If as always, like, share, subscribe. Also, I'm going to put a link in the description below for my Discord group. We just came up with a name. I think we're solid on a name. We're called the Tabletop Dungeoneers. It's a bunch of game masters and dungeon masters who work with 3D printing and crafting scenery and stuff like that. So if you want to join in on that, I'll leave the link in the description below for the Discord. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.